Morning, everybody. We're reading through Acts 15 and 16 today. There needs to be a lot more room for grace in the church. There's got to be a lot more room for messes. And I'm not just talking about from leadership positions. Leaderships, when we talk about leadership positions, we got to remember Jesus' definition of what a leader is. And it's the servants. It's those who are serving the body. So no leader can really be a legitimate leader in the kingdom if they're full of judgment and condemnation. We're in a place where we show God's grace all the time. And it's never ending. Forgiveness is never ending. It's not a matter, okay, this is the third time you've done this, out you go. It's not at all. Church is messy. It's messy. It's a messy affair. It's a messy family. But it's not just towards the servant leader, from the servant leaders towards those who are being trained and raised up. But it's also from those who are being trained and raised up towards servant leaders. Because we're all of us, it doesn't matter how long you've been on the road, we are all still on a journey of maturity. And we make mistakes. We make mistakes that arise from a lack of maturity or arise from a weakness that hasn't been dealt with yet. It arises from things that may be hidden that have to be revealed. And this goes along. If you are lifting up some leader in your life as if they're absolutely perfect and you have no room at all for them to fall on their face, and if you see them fall on your face and that's it, you're off to find another leader, you have a problem. You have a problem. Because the whole body, there's no head, okay? That we usually call the head servant in the church the pastor. It could be the lead pastor. It could be whatever titles you want to add to it. Doesn't matter. But all that leadership there, they are all servants. They're just servants to you. They are there to serve you. There's no idolization. There's no, well, this one is better than that one. No, this one is different than that one. This one has these things to teach me. This one has that to teach me. And that's just how it is in the church. That's the way the body works. And you have to make allowances for each of these leaders on their journey to have areas of weakness, areas that are being built, areas that are being dealt with, areas that they're being instructed in. All of us have somebody over us that is involved in our training. Doesn't matter how long you've been on the road. There's always somebody who's helping us to go further than we are today. That is the journey. That's what it's about, to become more and more like Christ, to grow into maturity, to grow into the fullness of the likeness of Christ. That's what we're moving towards, every single person. But in the church, we have this, we're surprised when leaders fail. And it's because we build up this perfection thing. And I'm going to tell you now, every leader should be able to confide in the people that they're loving and nurturing, and those people should lift up, and they should learn from the example of the weaknesses and the failings of the leaders, as well as in the successes and the victories of the leaders. Do you understand that? But I'll tell you now, there is a secrecy going on. There is, pastors are afraid to open their mouth. They will only share with each other. There's brokenness that is happening. I want to tell you, and it's your fault. There's brokenness that is happening in men and women of God, because they know it's like blood in the water with sharks. A little bit blood in the water, and man, they're going to be ripped to pieces, because it's for the failing. There's a failing even from the leader servants to train people in this thing of grace. This thing of grace. It's a thing of grace. How many times do I need to forgive my brother? 7 times? No, 70 times, 7 times, Peter. Why do we not understand that? We laugh about that. But the person who we trust has some kind of failure, and we throw them to the wolves. It's got to stop. How can we hope to grow? How can we hope to be more? The only problem is when a leader fails to humble themselves and to acknowledge. That's when it has to be dealt with differently. When somebody refuses to confess, when somebody refuses to step out. But see, part of the reason is because they know it's a death warrant for them. They won't voluntarily come forward. We won't voluntarily come forward and confess a weakness because we know it's a death warrant. It's over for us. At the same time, it's the atmosphere the servant leaders have created, because it's how they have treated those that they're raising up. They'll only tolerate for so long, maybe 3 strikes and you're out. My spiritual father has demonstrated to me so many times in so many people's lives that God has never given up on him, so he cannot give up on anybody, no matter how much sometimes the immaturity of people who should be mature at this time drive him crazy. But he refuses. And I look to that and I see my Father's heart all over that. I see my Father's heart all over that. I'm saying, Lord, let me be that. Help me be that. I know what you've done to me, and I know how many times you cover me, and I know how many times you've protected me. I know how many times you've called me up. I know how many times. And I don't want to be anything less for anybody else. I belong to an incredible tribe, and I know they've got me back. And we've had conversations, and I've talked about failures, and I've confessed failures with them, and they know who I am, and I'm just a man. I'm just a man who's been called to a responsibility, an awesome responsibility, but I'm just a man, and I'm on a journey, and I get to walk with my tribe. I get to live out my journey with my tribe. I love them so much. They're so precious to me. Because I know they got my back. Yeah. And we've got each other's back. Unfortunately, sometimes people don't trust that. It's because of cases they've built up in the past, things that they've experienced in the past. Things that they've experienced in the past, built up in the past, and they use it to judge today. And I pray you won't. I pray you won't do that. But don't do that. Don't use your past experience to judge today. Trust God's word. Trust what He's saying. Trust who He is. Trust the people that He's put around you, because He's got you and He's got you in them. I speak to my own tribe, and you know that there are people that we're hurting for. And we just want them to know that we love them. Yeah, we love them. You guys be blessed today. Be blessed. Be encouraged. And let's love one another in the same manner He's loved us. God bless.